Alright guys, today I'm going to walk you through how I make my shrimp pesto pasta. There it is right there. There's the ingredients that I use. It's pretty simple. You use shrimp, about a pound of shrimp, a package of pesto, some angel hair pasta, Camp Dog seasoning, some butter, heavy cream, Parmesan cheese, and some pepper. That's about all the ingredients you need to make this, and hopefully you learn how to make it and like it too. Thanks guys. So one of the first things you do is get a pot of boiling water. So while the water is boiling, that's when I cut up the shrimp. You want really small pieces, about a half an inch in size, and you'll see why here in just a second. One thing you want to make sure to do is take the tails off. I always buy the cooked shrimp that's just comes in a bag. I know there's better shrimp out there, but I'm just showing you the way that you can go to a Target or a Walmart and just get everything you need. You don't have to do anything crazy. And there you go. Next, you need half a cup of butter. So butter is starting to melt. In the meantime, it's when I like to start getting all my rest of my ingredients ready. Water's boiling. About to put in our angel hair pasta. Sometimes people like to use linguine pasta. I like angel hair. I just like it's a little more thin, and it goes well with this recipe. You want to melt the butter over medium heat. So just about perfect timing for this to be ready. So next we get the heavy cream. Heavy cream, we use 2 cups of heavy cream. I recommend always re-clean your measuring cup. So 2 cups of heavy cream. You can actually make heavy cream out of using milk and butter and heat it up. That's actually the way I used to make it. Here is that. So we got the heavy cream in there. I'm going to mix that together. Get that butter and that heavy cream mixed together. A very buttery, nice little mixture here. Alright, so basically when it comes to pepper, I just kind of trust my gut with it. I put enough to really get that pepper taste, because the nice thing is you can always put not enough pepper, and you can always add some whenever you eat your meal. But you can always put too much pepper, so I'd say it's a good healthy amount. And one thing else that I do is I use this stuff called Camp Dog Seasoning. It's a Cajun seasoning, and I put a little bit of that in there. It gives a little bit of kick. It's kind of like a Tony Chachere, but in my opinion, really bad, a lot better. It doesn't have as much salt in it, and that's the bad thing about the Tony's, is it has a lot of salt. You can get the non-sodium versions of it, but I've been using Camp Dog for quite a while now, and I've always had really good success with it. So you mix that in nicely, get that butter and that cream mixed together. Once you get that rolling, you actually want to cook that for about 6 to 8 minutes on medium heat. We've already been cooking it about 3. But you want to stir constantly, because the thing about it is that it can stiffen up. It'll get like stuck to the bottom with all that cream and butter and stuff. So you want to keep that seasoning mixed up well. At about the 6-minute mark, that's when you actually add your Parmesan cheese. Right now I'm just using Kraft Parmesan cheese. You can use homemade, or like not homemade, but freshly shredded Parmesan. But for the sake of this video, I'm going based off solely what I went and bought at Target. And minus the Camp Dog seasoning. You can't get that at Target, but you can order it. I'm going to keep mixing this up, making sure it's nice and mixed. It calls for 1 full cup of Parmesan cheese. I always put just a little bit more because I like cheese. I put about 1.5 cups of cheese. Alright, Now the pasta is done. We're gonna strain it and get it ready to serve. So next you stir in the Parmesan cheese. You want to make sure you stir it in good and get it nice and mixed in, and break down any of the bigger little stacks of cheese in there. Sometimes the best way to do that is with a fork, but in this case I'm just going to use this spoon. See how it's kind of lumpy right now? You got to stir until it's no longer lumpy. So it's going to be a little thicker than usual, just for the fact that I did put on a little bit more cheese than normal. I go super basic. I go to just a pesto pack from McCormick. Like I said, this is a very cheap way to do this, but it's very delicious. So once you get the pesto in there, just a powder pesto, you mix it in. Make sure you have stirred in that cheese well enough, because it just won't take. If the longer that cheese is in there not mixed up, the more gunked up and lumpy it gets. You want to try to thin it out as much as you can. See how I'm taking down the green? You gotta mix the green in really good. You're gonna cook that for about 3 minutes, constantly stirring. Like so. See, it's super thick, and it'll even thicken up more as you cook it and as you let it set up. So let's see. About 2 more minutes, and then we'll add the shrimp. So it's boiling a little bit, so actually you want to turn the heat down when it's boiling. You don't want to overcook it or cook it too fast. So right now it's at medium heat, actually a little higher than medium, so we're going to turn it just a little bit more again. Just keep stirring it, because you really want to mix that in well. You got to work on the sides too, because it will gunk up on the sides, and you don't want to lose any of that additional flavor. So you bring that in and stir it on in. It's time to add the shrimp. So this is just a 1 pound of shrimp. It's cut up in really small pieces. It's already cooked, so you're not having to worry about sauteing it. If you do, in fact, get fresh shrimp that hasn't been cooked, make sure you cook that previously before you put it in here, because like I said, this has already been cooked. This is just from the freezer section at Target. And you actually want to let that sit for about 3 to 4 minutes. Once the angel hair pasta has been strained, I put it right back in the same pot. As you can tell, the pesto is coming along nicely. A really small boil. Once this is complete, all you're going to do is pour this onto that and then mix it up. So we're almost done. It hasn't taken us very long at all. And I'll show you the completed product here in just a minute. Alright, so basically the pesto is done. So all you do is you pour it on in, just like so. Once poured in, you mix it all together. You mix the pesto and shrimp with the pasta, like so. You break it up a little bit, and you serve it, and it's ready to rock. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. I will be posting my enchilada recipe soon, so make sure you stay tuned for that. I won't be posting a lot of recipes. I'm not that big of a cook, but these are a couple things I really enjoy making. I hope you learned something today. If you have any questions, pop them below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell if you get a chance. Thanks, guys.